loss in the Ligue 1, as Rory loves to say. That was another quite unexpected result, to say the least, that puts PSG not quite in dire straits, but in a very difficult position in the league as they sit third. How many points from the leaders at this moment? Lille are leading with 58 and PSG are third with 4 points deficit. What did you make of it, Rory? So after such a good run against Marseille, the win against Nice, then Barcelona, all of a sudden, boom, they lose to Monaco, who seem to have found back their form with Niko Kovac on the touchline. Honestly, something that I quite was unaware of.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize he was there either. And I was watching the highlights, and the guy said like Niko Kovac is off to a blinding start here in Monaco, and he is really. He's of his first 27 games, he's won 17 of them, only losing 6.
Yeah.
So that's a really good start. And obviously with Monaco, we've talked about it in the past. It's like either feast or famine there, if you know what I mean. They have like the really good young players. They have one good year, and then they all get sold, right? And I think maybe Monaco, they're starting a new cycle. The first player who scored for Monaco was Sofiane Diop, who is a 18-year-old who made his debut this year. His first season in Ligue 1, playing as a right winger. He already has 6 goals this season, so he's starting pretty well. It's quite a good debut season. Maybe there's some more youth players for Monaco to be looking out for. But for PSG, we have the saying in the UK, after the Lord Mayor's show. And it's like after this big, big event, and then your next game is like really disappointing because it's like you're still high from the great performance midweek, if you know what I mean. And I think that's maybe what happened here. PSG just rolled over Barcelona in their own back garden, getting pumped for although Monaco is a big derby, you'd hope they'd be pumped for that, but maybe they weren't quite as excited as they should have been. But Monaco, fair play. And then the other teams around PSG took advantage. And that's where it really matters. Lyon beat Brest 3-2. Who scored again, Tommy?
In Lyon, I was actually opening the Lille game. Lyon goals, bim, boom, bam. They were playing Brest, and they won in a 2-3 thriller with a winning penalty to Memphis Depay, the big guy, once again with a crucial goal. They beat 3-2 Brest. What are you going to say, Rory?
Also, Paquetá scored again.
Big time. While AC Milan were busy doing other stuff, Paquetá was scoring in the league. So yeah, Lyon win.
Just quickly, sorry, talking about the Paquetá goal, the goalkeeper absolutely gifted it to him, so it was not down to his hard work. The goalkeeper had an absolute stinker. He gave away a penalty as well. It was awful to watch. In the second half, Brest came from 2-0, grabbed 2 goals back, but it wasn't enough. And then importantly, Lille beat Lorient 4-1, and now this means that they are 4 points clear, I want to say.
Yeah, 4 points, and the second
clear.
They're 3 points clear off second and 4 points clear off PSG. So yeah, the race is on, kind of in every league, except maybe in the Premier League. And I think, Rory, we are ready to try if technology is on our side.
I think he should be here, so I'm going to let him in. And guys, hopefully we're going to have Gav Mack from 2 Up Top. Is he here? Let's have a look.
He's coming on. I see movement. He's connected to the sound system. Gav Mack. So Gav was already in our pod back in November, I want to say. Gav Mack, no, actually in October for our Halloween special. Gav Mack is from the 2 Up Top football podcast. You can follow them on Instagram. 2 is written like a number. I think that's the same name also for YouTube and Twitch. This is nerve-wracking. I see that it says connecting to audio.
I think we're just waiting for him to accept it, but he is definitely coming on, don't worry. So while we're here, Tommy, we can just talk a little bit more about France. Do you think Lille and Lyon have enough to keep the race going, or do you think PSG are going to...
Now, this is what we were kind of discussing earlier. And at the beginning in our pod, we kind of wanted to focus only... Oh, he's on.
I'm on.
Oh,
here he is.
What's up, mate?
Hey,
how we doing? You right?
Repping the Palermo.
Yes, mate. Good work.
Oh, we're not doing too great, but we won't talk about that.
So, welcome to the show, Gav. Guys, this is
Thanks
Gav.
for having me.
He's from Two Up Top Football, and it's great to finally have you on. We're still experimenting with this Twitch thing, so we'll see how it goes.
No, that's all good. It's all good. I don't understand how it works, Twitch, so I'll just...
I have never felt so old as when trying to figure out how to work Twitch. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
It's we're recording it via Zoom, so we should have said, "Oh, can you hear me?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait there. Let me turn. Oh.
Is it your end or mine? Is it your end or mine?
Put it away.
How you doing, Gav?
I'm all good. I'm repping. It's weird. I'm repping the Palermo shirt. I'm drinking out of a Fiorentina mug. I got the 1993 Fiorentina mug with top on it.
That's pretty sweet, dude.
I'm liking that. That's pretty cool.
It highlights a bit of a confusion over Serie A and Serie B and Serie C teams, right?
Yeah, I'll try and think about the good days when we had like Liverani and Pastore and Mark Bresciano. Like that's the Palermo I know and love. And we don't talk about that guy who went to Napoli on unsaccharonious circumstances and now turns up at Man United. We don't like that guy.
Right. So we were kind of covering the European leagues. We were saying, actually, right when you came on, that we kind of want to get a little more interested into the other leagues besides Serie A and Premier League. You guys in your podcast also break down the Bundesliga quite a bit, right?
That is right. Yeah, every Wednesday, 7:00, we go live across 2 channels. So not just the Two Up Top channel, we also go on the Football Dugout channel as well. They've got a really good show, so make sure people tune into those as well. I always think that if you run a podcast, and especially if you're in the same industry, it's not me versus you. Let's work together. Let's drive each other forwards. So that's once again, I really appreciate you having me on. And I can't wait for you guys to come on the Two Up Top channel as well. But Bundesliga football for me is the most exciting in Europe.
That's motivating, man. For me, I kind of want to get into it more, and that's great to hear.
And the main reason for the show is because we're trying to educate that there's more to the Bundesliga than Bayern Munich. Mm-hmm. And it's a bit like Serie A. You talk about Serie A, there's more to the Serie A than Juventus. Yeah, they've won the league countless times. Exactly. Who's that? Atalanta. Whee!
All right. We're starting with the banter. But, all right. I'm not going to derail you guys. We've got a lot to talk about. Premier League action is our next stop. And I let you guys dig at it while I go get another beer.
So let's do the Premier League. Where are we going to start? I think we have to start at Anfield, right? That seems like the only... It was a great start to the weekend. And my cousin is sending me messages on Twitch as we speak. He's a Liverpool fan, and he didn't enjoy it as much as I did. But what did you think of the result? Did you see it coming? Were you surprised?
Well, I saw Everton at 7-1. I was like, I'm going to keep the money in my pocket, and I wish I invested now. Put the house on it. I could have bought like 100 houses now if I did. But no, I didn't expect it. I mean, like in our show, we have a section called "What Are Everton?"
Okay,
and because no one knows what they are. They don't even know what they are. I think they only know how to turn up to like the Gladys Road end, and that is it. Everton will go on a run. They'll beat. They're just beating Liverpool. I can't remember who they got next, but I don't think it's anyone substantial. They'll probably lose that game because that's what Everton do. Yeah. So, they had a great start to the season. They were top of the league at one point. They weren't on the Southampton levels of stop the count, but they were doing all right. And, Everton fans, fair play to them. They had something to be excited about. They've got Ancelotti as their manager. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I wanted him at my club.
Well, this is something that this weekend, as I was like watching them kind of comfortably see out Liverpool, I was like, wow, this is the difference that Ancelotti's making, right? This is a team that has always been there or thereabouts, and now he's slowly bringing in that, like, especially with signings like James as well. That's such a clever signing, and that like lack of Like, I saw an interview with Seamus Coleman where he said that the reason why they've not won at Anfield so long is because it's like a mental thing. Now it's become a big, like, it's impossible for them to win. But he said players like James and Richarlison coming in who haven't gone through it is kind of giving them a bit of a breath of fresh air and a bit of a push. And I think Carlo is part of this, right? It's such a coup to have him. Like, I wanted him at Arsenal as well, I'll be honest.
Look, I think the key is Alan. You know, the guy's been tearing up and turning up like in Italy with Napoli, and like he's like a metronome. He's so key, and he'll just go out and chop anyone, and he doesn't give two hoots about it.
Napoli are having currently a very hard time at replacing him because Bakayoko, as good of a player as he is, and I like him, sometimes he has these little blackouts. He had one over the weekend, and when you have a player like that, Alan, I did say it, I believe, at the beginning of the year on the pod, I thought that was like one of the most outstanding signings for Everton this year. More than
I don't think, not just for Everton, I think he's actually one of the signings of the Premier League. I really do. He's that key. But, you know, kids nowadays, and you see it on Twitter a lot, it's a load of 14-year-olds, and it's like, well, he doesn't get enough goals and doesn't get enough assists. God, do you watch football?
Yeah, well, these are the people that have a go at Xavi for not getting enough goals and assists in a game. It's like, well, you don't have a clue what you're talking about. Like, that is not... Yeah, that is very infuriating.
Yeah,
part of
it really
Twitter.
is. Oh, it so is. And it's like, well, you know, I think I come from an area where I feel I have the right level of information to inform. You know, I'm a qualified scout. I've done coaching. I was a referee for 10 years. I played the game for a little bit, you know, and now I'll talk about it. So I feel like I'm informed enough to know that you don't just have to have goals and assists. And then, you know, then you just see all the other crap stats that come up. It's like, oh, you know, chances created, or, you know,
key passes, forward passes,
you know, pre-assist and all that sort of stuff. Come off it, man. Alan controls everything that's going on in midfield. And when they turn out with a 4-2-3-1, Everton, and they have Alan and Decore as the holding two, that's the energy that you need in the middle of the park. And that energy and work rate is what allows James Rodriguez to look so key. You know, you said that you wanted James at Arsenal. I didn't, and I only would have if Ancelotti was there. Because when he's at Real Madrid,
I think there is a thing in there. There is a It
is. When he's at Real Madrid, when did he look really good? Who was the manager? When he went to Bayern Munich, you know, when like who's there? You know, and like every time he is with Ancelotti, things work. They know each other. They understand each other. It's like a father figure to James Rodriguez. So it's a no-brainer why he's performing so well. But yeah, Liverpool will be moaning a lot about the injury situation. They still have, and they still will. And I fully understand it, and I back it. I really do. However, it's not like they haven't got decent enough players to cover them in that in their loss. The issue for Liverpool is, for me, Henderson. Henderson, when he's not playing in the middle of the park, they look lost and they struggle. And even like last year and the season before, and you know, even the season when they fluffed it with the Gerrard slip, who was missing from the last 3 games? Henderson.
Yeah. Well, he's another player that's completely slept on, isn't he? People just don't realise the importance of that guy. And just because he started at Sunderland, I'm sure that's why people still think he's crap, because he came from Sunderland. And people just have that image in their head. Despite the fact that he's developed and won everything as a player, people still see that guy at Sunderland. And yeah, I think you could see Klopp's face when he went down injured, that kind of like smile of like, oh, fuck.
I tell you what, I was watching the game and I saw it. I said to my missus, I was like, Claire, oh my God, look at Klopp's face. And I rewound it and I took a little video and screen recorded it. I put it up. 3 minutes later, I had nearly 1,000 views.
I can imagine.
It's a 3-second video, honestly. But then I think Sport Bible, they nailed it. And you know that. What's his name? I can't remember his name. You know, the classic meme guy, the old guy who does the awkward smile.
Oh yeah, the stock photo guy.
They were smart. They were on it straight away. They put a picture of Klopp and a picture of him and had like 1 million views and retweets and stuff. I was like, I nearly banned. I nearly
got it there. Nearly got it. But before we move on, we need to talk about Liverpool. Where do they go? What happens from here? I feel like they're the fact that they cannot score a goal. I was looking at since the 7-0 win at Crystal Palace, which was 11 games ago. I think they've not scored in 6 of those games, and they've only scored like 9 goals in that time. It's just completely dried up. And so what happens? Where do they go from here? Everybody thought the defense was their issue, but maybe it's not.
It's Henderson needing in the middle of the park. It is so important